Hi, Talesian here, and we've gotten enough information now that I feel confident about doing a video concerning the two new legendary servers that are coming to Lord of the Rings Online, Angmar and Mordor. Going back on to a uh, post that was on the official Lord of the Rings forums, that was done by Weird Jedi, and I thank him very much for this post. He basically went over the Court of the Rings from June the 21st, and I was able to put together some other information as well that I'll share. So this is everything that we know right now about the new servers. Mordor and Angar, the new legendary servers, they will both be available at the same time in July. Right now they're shooting for around the end of July, beginning of August. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Mordor will be a full European server. Angmar will be a fully American server, so I will be on Angmar. There will be a stress test, which I think they've already had. You will not be able to transfer to the servers, and the level cap will initially be set to 50 and an increase at normal legendary server pace. So I think it's once every 3 to 6 months the expansions will be coming out. But this is the thing that I want to focus on. It's called the Veil of the Nine. This is the new server-wide event that's going to be happening throughout the legendary server. And if it goes well, if it works out, it may get ported over to the full servers. Depending on the difficulty settings, Wraiths will come after you. They're sending Nazgul after us once you hit level 15. When at the level cap of the server, one of the 9 ring weights can potentially appear to kill you. These raids should be near impossible to defeat on your own and would require of like 50 players to take down. There will be an effect to warn you in advance to give you a little bit of time to flee, which is good because they don't expect that. They said that the basic raids will start appearing around level 15. Of course, the master ones will appear around 50, as they've already mentioned. Although they do not appear that often, greater raids will be vulnerable to players who carry a special ring, which will turn the encounter into a world boss fight. This is where things get interesting. There are only 12 rings on the entire server, and the carrier will have one of them for a total of 10 days. They will be randomly found somewhere in chests on the server as a more powerful piece of jewelry. We are still unsure how to inform others, like in a world broadcast, when a ring is found. Now, this is back in June. They may have made some determinations go then. I have not been able to find any updates on that. But if somebody has any updates on it, please comment down below. Let's share our information together, or on my Discord server. There's a LOTRO forum there. It would mean that to have someone be able to wear 2 rings at the same time. This is an interesting thing, too. That'd be a very powerful character, too, because these pieces of jewelry are supposedly over and above what your level can be power-wise. So if you have 2 of them on, for those 10 days, you'll be almost unstoppable. Now, there will be rewards for engaging in the system. There might be something for actually defeating the ring wraith. They haven't determined that as of the time of this. There will be titles, but the effort in creating a leading board is beyond their scope. There will be portraits that will carry over to the other servers and housing items that you can earn. Other rewardings were still being determined, again, at this time. They may have made more changes. I haven't been able to find any updates on them. Again, please share what you find below or on the Discord server. Because of how the event follows an old school design, will this things unfold as a social experiment before determining they will come to the rest of the world. Now, I think this is a good thing. Now, I fully expect with the way LOTRO is designed, the way its storyline is very well party focused and group focused and fellowship focused. I think this will go over well as a social experiment, and I think it will eventually carry over. That's my personal feelings on this. Do I want to get one of the 12 rings? I'm not so sure about that. But hey, if I get one, then I will definitely be taking a part in those encounters. And that's another reason why I think I've decided what my main character is going to be. For the legendary servers, I again will be maining a hunter, mostly because I'm so familiar with the hunter class. They can literally flitter from one end of Middle Earth to another in a split second. So if I have a ring and I hear about a ring wraith combat, Because I'll have to monitor world chat as well as Twitch chat. But if I hear about a combat coming on, I'm going to have to go over there with the ring. So it'll be very interesting to see how things go. Now, it also says here, going back to it, that wraiths will appear anywhere on the landscape, but they will not appear in instances. So that's good too. So if you're in the middle of an instance and you're focused on the instance, you don't have to worry about a ring wraith all of a sudden appearing. Bad enough out in the outer world. Most of the game actually takes place in the outer world. So this is what basically they've said about that. And also, MMORPG.com did a article on it. And again, links to both of these will be down below in the video if you would like to read a little bit more in detail here. What I want to talk about from here is, here we go. Players should also expect a different kind of leveling experience on these two servers. If their namesakes weren't warning enough, SSG is labeling both of these shards Veil of the Nine servers, an indication of increased challenge. While players adventure in the world after level 15, they will occasionally be attacked by one of the lesser wraiths hunting them down, which could be a mild hassle at the normal difficulty or a nail-biting experience if your difficulty is jacked up. That leads me to believe there will also be difficulty levels on the server. So for those of you who are not familiar with that, when you on I think it's Treebeard and Shadowfax, I think Shadowfax is no more, you could actually choose your difficulty rating. I think that's actually carried over also to the main servers. And that difficulty mean anywhere from 0 to like +3 or +4. And it basically increases the level of encounters and decreases your ability to deal with them as well, depending on the higher levels. So I think adding that to this could be a very interesting challenge, especially if somebody has really pushed the difficulty to the max to try to get those rewards and then end up having to fight one of the wraiths. Could be a very interesting encounter, and we'll see. I haven't determined what difficulty level I'm going to run my hunter at, but hey, we'll see. Additionally, one of the 9 ring wraiths may appear to players sitting at the current level cap. Cicilline said that there's no way you can solo these. He expects groups of up to 50 players will be needed to fend them off, so it becomes an occasional server-wide event to join the community together. Again, I'm hoping this does carry over. I think it could be very interesting. It depends on the social aspect and how well people work, and I think trying it on a legendary server with everybody who is a VIP and a reduced overall population, technically, I think it's a good place to try something like this out. And if it doesn't work, they can either keep it for there, people will have to adjust their gameplay, or they can just delete the event if it really feels like it's a problem. Now, to help fight these ring wraiths, as was mentioned before, players will find it greatly to help to find one of the tradable special rings hidden throughout the game world. Anyone who finds a ring will be able to wield it for 10 days before it loses itself and hides again. But while you have that ring, you'll be in high demand for those ring wraith fights. Successful fights will pay out in special rewards. So we will, again, see what happens. They've already done the stress test. Also, the other thing that I wanted to bring up real quick is that these new servers, Angmar and Mordor, will mark the debut of LOTRO's new 64-bit server tech, which should help to greatly combat lag and allow the game to preload all instances. Between that and the fact that all characters will be brand new, these shards should feature some of the most lag-free experiences in the MMO right now. And that's another reason why I'm looking forward to it. Now, I may actually pop out onto the Mordor server and just see what the lag is like, but my focus will be on Angmar since I'm stationed here in America. There's been a lot of positive reactions to it. There's certainly been a lot to be excited here. If there's nothing else than to get a fresh start on servers since 2021. Ideally, this should be a huge draw for players who want to get in on the ground floor of the community that will level alongside them. I absolutely loved my do-overs on Angmar and Treebeard back in the day, and we're already planning for what character I'll be making. And I agree. That's one of the reasons why I'm actually looking forward to these new servers. A fresh start. The fact now that I'm streaming, for those of you who are new, I've only actually started streaming a few weeks ago. So I'm still getting my feet wet on the whole server streaming process and the whole video creation process. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes out. It's going to be a brand new experience for a lot of people, and I'm really looking forward to it. And on top of it, for our European friends, this is definitely some great news because they've had to deal with high latency for all these years. This is the first new EU server in, I want to say, 5 or 10 years. They finally found some rack space, some server space in the EU to run a server, and I think it's wonderful that they're taking care of our European friends and actually running an EU server. So it could be very, very interesting. One other piece of news that just came out that I want to share with you, literally just dropped this morning right before I started making this video. And this comes from San Diego Comic-Con, I think it is. Let me double check here real quick here. This is the Daybreak panel from San Diego Comic-Con. This was just released September or July 26th at 2 p.m. So it's basically brand new news that I just found out about it. But there's updates for DC Universe, updates for Dungeons and Dragons Online, Lord of the Rings Online. One of the things they talk about briefly here, Cicilline shared a quick look at Update 41 on the Wing. So it's officially been named now, which introduces a relaxing new player activity, birding. So that'll be kind of fun because I have a feeling, from my understanding about the new servers, is it's basically up-to-date code just rolled back. So that means that when birding is released on Update 41, it should come out on the Legendary servers at the same time. Which is another reason why I'm looking forward to Update 41 is they're adding the 4th crafting ability. And I already know what my 4th crafting ability is going to be when it's introduced because it makes perfect sense for a hunter. And then, let's see. New which provides additional challenge players ring rate attacks. These powerful attacks are stronger variants. And following the human rework, which was done a few updates ago, elves are getting an in-game makeover. The race will be getting new heads, new hairstyles, and new animation rigs to further enhance their place in the world of Middle-earth. That sounds like a wonderful thing to me. My main hunter, my main LOTRO character, is a elf. So I'm really looking forward to running a new elf with the new updates and stuff that are coming through. And then here's the big piece that I wanted to share. He concluded the talk by announcing the title of LOTRO's upcoming expansion, The Legacy of Morgoth. He brought up how players will continue the story of the Song of Waves and Wind, taking them from the city of Umbar to the deserts of Harad, a place where the taint of evil still looms large. This sounds very interesting. Now, I have not gotten either on my main character or starting off, obviously, I have not even gotten to the Songs of Wave and Wind yet. So it'll be very interesting. I'm always glad when they come out expansions because there's always things for lower level characters for most of the LOTRO expansions, and there's also things for higher level characters, including the enhanced storyline. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they come up with on update for the new expansion, Legacy of Morgoth. So that's all I have for you today. My little brief update on Lord of the Rings Online. As far as streaming goes, SWTOR Sunday is tomorrow, the 28th of July. I'll be streaming Star Wars The Old Republic. After that, MMO Monday. I'll be back on Lord of the Rings Online on Monday. And then, of course, be on the lookout for Talesian After Dark. For those who follow me, it's my chill games, chill tunes, hang out, and do whatever the fuck happens. So, thank you very much for joining me on this, and I look forward to seeing you later, and take care. Bye-bye.